they brought out some stuff that I wasn't quite so sure about this time. I don't know. Kind of on the fence with it, but let's talk about Queen Sugar.
And I'm like, come on through, Cookie. I want to put my soapbox. That's basically it. Let's talk about drag and all its forms. What,
Hey guys, thanks so much for clicking on the video. This is my review for Queen Sugar Season 2, Episode 5. And we're going to talk about some of the stuff that was on here. There was a few things that kind of, I don't know, I wasn't real crazy about it, but whatever. We'll see. I'm not real sure exactly where we're going, but let's talk about it. So Charlie's actually going to counseling, and Micah actually stood her up. He didn't come. He actually went to this event. It's like a revitalization event for the neighborhood that Nova is actually doing. So he kind of stood Charlie up. Charlie ended up there by herself. In the midst of her being there, she literally started to talk to the counselor basically about things that went on with her and her mother. And was getting to the bottom of why she is so controlling and the fact that her mother expected her to be perfect. And the counselor's question was, are you expecting that same thing from Micah? And she says, no, I don't. And she says, does he know that? And you can see Charlie's wheels spinning. You know, you can see her wheels spinning a little bit. Shortly after that, we see Darla actually go in to talk to Charlie. She's actually asked Charlie to go over her resume and see if she could possibly give her some help with locating new work. And Charlie was going through some things, and she said, you know, some of these companies that you've worked for are very impressive companies. And she says, my mom and dad actually had, you know, they knew people and they had some hookups. They had some things to do with that. She says, well, why don't you, you know, reach out to your parents for help? And she says, you know, my parents kind of threw me away a long time ago. They were done with me, you know, when she was out in the streets. And Charlie kind of pushed a little bit, and Darla was like, you know what, thanks anyway, never mind. And she walks out. And Charlie just kind of like sat there like, damn, I kind of messed that up. A little bit. Just a little bit. You pushed a little bit too much. But that's Charlie. You know, she pushes. But again, it hit home with the whole parent thing. So we move on. We see Darla talking with her sponsor, and her sponsor is addressing some issues with her, and she's saying, you know, I feel worse when Ralph Angel tries to help me. It makes me feel like I'm helpless, like I can't do things for myself. And the sponsor's telling her, you know, that's not true, and you should not feel that way. You need to work on you. That's something broken in you. You're not, you know, you can't, you need the help, and there's nothing wrong with accepting help. So I'm like, come on, Darla, listen, girl, we don't want you to backslide. Things are too good right now. Vi is out on the town trying to shop her pies and really running into a rough time. And she actually went to a shop, and there was this Caucasian woman who really got up underneath my skin. She was just so not interested, and you could tell she wasn't interested, yet she's playing these games. You know, see, anybody got time to be playing no games, you know. And then she basically tells Vi, well, when somebody else, if somebody else buys in, then maybe I'll think about it again later. You know what? And this actually brings me to a personal situation, something that actually happened. Now, you all know that I am a self-published author. And, you know, the thing is, any business that you're actually in, you need people to take a chance on you, no matter what it is. I mean, I know that I tell stories well. I know that I can put it on paper, but everybody doesn't know that. So anybody, in essence, who took a chance on buying any of my books have taken a chance on me, and I actually appreciate that. Now, it really is hurtful when people say things that are really stupid. Now, in the world of authors, reviews are the thing. When you're really looking at it and being real with yourself out there, you need reviews. People actually go off of reviews. They trust reviews, and then that's when they'll basically take a chance on you. The thing that actually happened to me that actually hurt my feelings. I have a friend, a so-called friend, and that's a whole nother video for another time. When you have these friends that are supposedly really behind you and that kind of thing. This person has been, part of my life, and we've talked about all of this stuff as I was writing and all of that, and had the nerve to tell me, I'll buy your book after it gets some reviews. And I just kind of looked at her and said, this ain't nothing but a hater. And it is just a hater. And then some other things came out later on with that friendship. But it's just the thing that made me think about it when that was happening with Vi is she didn't know the woman from Adam's House Cat. And it was very hurtful that the woman wouldn't even listen, didn't even want to take a chance on her. And it just kind of put me right into that. It sent me right back to that time where I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, you're telling me you don't want to take a chance on me. But meanwhile, you are supposedly my friend and have actually, we've talked about all of this. We've been talking since I actually started the actual draft of the book. And then you tell me something stupid like, oh, once somebody else buys it, then I'll buy it. I just thought that was ridiculous. And that woman could have literally kept that to herself. And me personally, I wouldn't even want her as a customer. But see, that's how I run my business. That's why I'm self-published. And I basically make the rules. Because I am very much that way. And I can tell you, that friend, I don't talk to that friend about any of my endeavors. And that supposed friend has actually bought all 5 of my books, but I've never offered to sell them. They came to me wanting to buy them, and I really didn't care at that point if they didn't. But I do understand the nature of the business, but she was just being a petty bitch, as far as I was concerned. And that's what that woman was doing with Vi, to tell her that I'll consider after somebody else gets in. She didn't even try the product or anything. Go to hell, lady. Anyway, so back down off my soapbox, put on boom, boom, and let's move on. Nova is at her event, and she's doing what she do and all of that, and then she turns around, and looky here. Robert Dubois, Dr. Robert Dubois, comes walking up. He came all the way to New Orleans. I seen that you needed a helping hand, so I brought 2 hands. I said, come on, you better come on and get her. You better come on and get her. I am so here for it. Girl, Nova, if you don't grab that man, girl, come on here. So I was real happy with that. He came in. Everything was cool. Next thing you know, Davis shows up. Davis shows up to pick up Micah. There was this woman, she was a celebrity in her own right as well. She was there, she was doing an interview. Well, naturally, first of all, Nova was a little shady to Davis, because they ain't feeling him. So she's a little shady, whatever. He went on, and of course, people started to see him, and they're like, oh, Davis, studying other. They literally cut the woman. The woman was doing an interview. They literally cut her interview and was like, oh, so you're not the only celebrity here. Davis West. And they turn around and they start interviewing Davis. And Davis is looking at her. She's this pretty girl that's, about Charlie's complexion, big, beautiful head of hair, cute girl. And I looked and I seen her looking at him and him looking at her. I said, oh, he just found his next victim. So I'll be looking to see her again. A mess. Later on, we seen Davis and Micah actually having this little question basketball game. Dave said, let's just shoot some baskets, and you get a basket, you get a 3-pointer, you can ask me anything, I get a 3-pointer, I can ask you anything, and everything's on the table. There's nothing off limits. First shot was Micah, and Micah says, so are you a sex addict? He says, oh, we're going to go right in. He says, yeah. He said, no, I'm not. He said, I'm not. He says, I'm just so used to people giving me whatever I want that this is where I got caught up. He said, I don't know what's wrong with me, but I did. I got caught up, and I'm trying to do better. Davis made his shot, and he asked him, did those cops rough you up when you were in custody? And he told him no. He told him no. It just what the whole thing was just a whole lot. To actually not be able to leave when you want to leave, to be under someone's rule and other than theirs, and literally be held captive. It was just a lot. The experience itself was just too much. So, a little bit of bonding was all good. And it was good because once that happened, I think it freed Micah up a little bit, and then he knew that he had did Charlie by not showing up and all of that. And later on, when he actually ended up going home, she was in there painting and everything, and she had asked him, do you want to go to a movie with me downtown later? And he told her, I would love that. I would love to go to a movie with you. So the lines of communication between Charlie and Micah are going to open up. Another thing that actually happened right before that, which actually helped Charlie, she's going to open up. So things are going to get better. Nova was sitting with Dr. Dubois, and he was right in the midst of telling her, he told her, you know what, I like you, shit. I like your ass. And she got a call from Charlie. And Charlie was jumping on her pretty much with an attitude about Micah being at her event and not coming to counseling. And then after she's like, I had no idea. He told me that he just took time from school. He didn't tell me he had to go to counseling. And she apologized to Nova, but Nova could hear in her voice that something was wrong. Nova told Robert, I can't go to dinner with, because he wanted her to take her to dinner. She said, I can't go to dinner with you. So she kind of blew him off. And she said, I have to go see my sister. So she went to see Charlie. She did a whole burning sage ritual in the house. Told her, to lift that gloom and doom off of the building. She said, and you'll notice the difference. She said, I don't see the difference. So you'll notice the difference once I'm gone. You'll actually see the difference. And she did. She actually did. And she did tell her, she says, you know what? I mean this with all respect. Charlie, your mother made you into a control freak. And she said, and I mean that with all, sincerity. And I'm not trying to be rude. She made you into a control freak. But you have a clean slate right now with Micah to go ahead and fix everything with Micah. She told him Micah's a beautiful person, and you did that. You made him into that. And you could do this. All this is going to work. You be able to work it. And they laughed. And she told her, I'm not the only control freak in the family. You are too. So they laughed about that. And then they went on and ate and everything. So everything is working out with that. Let's talk about Ralph Angel and Darla. No, first, let's finish up with Hollywood and Vi. So Vi, after that bad day on Vi had, she was just in the bed. She was just defeated. And Hollywood came in and beat her down with a speech. Told her, you don't give up after no one day. It was a bad day. There's more days ahead. We're not going to make it into 2 bad days. He talked to her, told her, you're not by yourself. I got your back. It is what it is. Come on, let's do this. So the next time you seen her, she got herself up, got herself dressed up real nice. She looked really good. Went into another shop, was a black man. They went in. The man was just old and cantankerous as hell. Said it's too goddamn hot. The damn air conditioner's on the fritz. So if you're trying to sell something, you can run the fuck on out of here, because I ain't interested. I don't want none of what you're selling. And so Hollywood said, you know what? You said your air conditioner ain't working. Let me go look at your air conditioners at our back while this pretty lady tells you what it is that she has. So the man was like, okay. So Vi ended up, she was getting ready to go into the sales pitch. She said, you know what? It is hot as hell. up in here. So let me just cut right to it. Told him what she had. He tasted the pies. I was like, what is that about? She bringing the pie. He took a fork and went in the pie. I would probably smack that man. But whatever. He tasted them. He said, this is pretty good. He said, no, these are damn good. So Vi got her mojo back. So I said, okay, good. So that's all good there. Okay, now let's get over to the shit. Nova. Nova goes back and she contacts Dr. Dubois before he leaves, go back to Atlanta, gets him. They have dinner. She tells him, I like you too. And I said, so I guess they're going to try to make a go of it. And I am so here for it. So here for it. And he looked at her and said, you are beautiful. I said, yes, she is. Get that woman, boy. That's what's up. So I was real happy about all that. I'm happy about that Hollywood and everything. Happy about Mr. Dubois and Nova, Charlie. Everything's going good. Let's talk about Ralph Angel, Little Blue, and Darla. So Darla is actually giving Blue a bath. And in the midst of her giving Blue a bath, she's going through her own mess. And she says to Blue, why do you like Kenya so much? And he just tells her, you know, she's my best friend, and she does a lot of stuff. She's exciting, and she listens to whispers. So he tells her secrets. And she says, you know what mommy's good at? Mommy's good at whispers too. So I'm like, okay. So I'm thinking to myself, please tell me she ain't got jealous of this doll, because she's thinking the doll is symbolizing the void of his mother not being there. But she's like, I'm here now. You know what I mean? So we look at the next scene. We see Blue. Blue is having a goddamn fit. He is totally in a dizzy tizzy, okay? He can't find Kenya. And Darla comes in, and Ralph Angel's trying to help him look. And he's like, Blue, I don't know. And she says, I have something I got to tell you. So she goes over, she tells Ralph Angel, I took Kenya. He's like, what the hell you mean you took Kenya? And I could tell he was about ready to choke her goddamn tongue out. And she told him, I threw her away. He's ready to choke her damn tongue out, like I said. He said, okay. So where'd you throw her? Down at some business in the downtown area in their damn dumpster. Next we see that damn Ralph Angel is down there in the dumpster looking for Kenya, child. And the police end up pulling up. They're like, what are you doing? You know, and get ready to, I said, Lord, they get ready to arrest him. There was a black cop and a white cop. The black cop and Ralph Angel keep looking at each other, and he says, oh, I know him. I know him. He's cool. And they actually end up talking. It's a childhood friend. Well, in the midst of the conversation, his name is Twan. And him and Ralph Angel were talking, and Ralph Angel tells him about Blue and the doll and all that. And he tells Ralph Angel, you know, you were always a friend to me, no matter what. You were a friend to me when I didn't know what was going on with me, and you were a friend to me even after I knew what was going on with me. And I never got the chance to tell you I really appreciate that. Said, and then the day that I saw you when he was locked up, said, I thought, oh my God, he's getting ready to, you know, blow my whole cover and tell my secrets and all of that. At that point, I said, oh my gosh, okay, so he's gay. He's gay, and Ralph Angel knows it. Yet they were friends as children. And Ralph Angel told him, I would never do that. He said, I would never do that. He said, I respected you then. I had your back then. I got your back now. I would never do that. And he says, just like you had my back today. He said, that's how it works. It is what it is. He said, I never judged you. You know, I know that was hard. He said, it was hard what you went through. And that's when he said, he says, yeah, he was saying, he made reference to comments where people would tease him, and his name was Twan, and they call him Antoinette. So about, come on over here, girl, why your voice so deep? Come on, I'll show you how to be a real girl and all that. That picking ass shit. Been there, done that. So I said, oh, wow. All right. So then this is the part that bothered me, because then they moved into this whole thing. And Ralph Angel saying, you know, I don't know what's going on with my son, but I do know the hard time you had, and whatever my son wants to be, I'm going to let him be that. There goes, he was in the garbage looking for the damn doll and all that. So the cop ended up getting a call, and he went on off, and he told Ralph Angel, take it easy, be good to your son, and also stick by that woman that you guys were talking about, Darla. You stick by that woman that you have. So when he went on back to the house and everything, they smoothed it all over. Him and Darla, they smoothed it over. Darla got a new doll trying to rough it up and make it look like Kenya. He's like, he's going to know that that's not Kenya, but whatever. We'll see what happens. And I can't wait till the next episode to see what happens with that either myself. But it actually ended out right after her phone rings. Darla's phone rings. It's Charlie on the line. And Charlie says, hey, Darla, I was looking at your resume again, this, that, thing, and the other. She says, and I want to offer you a job here at the mill to be my assistant. And she says, yeah. She says, it's going to be late nights, early mornings, a lot of hard work. But we're going to be open in a couple of weeks. Can you start tomorrow? She says, yes. Darla gets off the phone. She says, I got a job. Ralph Angel's like happy. He's like, okay, good. I told you everything was going to work out. I just knew it. And he said, where's it at? And she says, it's with Charlie. And Ralph Angel's whole face just dropped. And there he goes again, conflicted. I'm like, Ralph Angel, get out of your own way. So he's conflicted. So I can't wait to see next week where that's going to go. But let me just say this, because that's the end of this review. But let me just say this. I know Ava DuVernay, there's things that she wants to cover. And she's covering really all aspects of the Black experience and the things that are taboo and the things that we don't like to talk about. So, so the gay issue, I knew at some point we would have to attack it because it's such an issue in our community that everybody is taking a shot at it to try to open up the lines of communication for it. But I did not like where they put it in here. Because one, with Blue, this is not what they built his character to be. There is nothing feminine about Blue. There's nothing that would even make you think that Blue was going down the road of being gay. The whole doll thing, that never entered my mind about homosexuality. And I just hated that I thought it was a cheap shot. It was a cheap way of actually ushering that piece in. And I just wish they hadn't have put that in, because that's not even his character. He has that one doll. That's all you've ever seen. That's the only thing you've ever seen. You have not seen Blue jumping rope. You've not seen Blue playing hopscotch. You ain't seen Blue playing jacks. You don't even see Blue like wanting to play with little girls or anything like that. Blue is very much an introvert. He plays by himself, and all his toys are boy toys except for Kenya. He plays with Kenya. When he was in the tub, he had Kenya and a dinosaur. He had a dinosaur in the other hand. Whenever you've seen Blue any other time, Blue is playing with trucks. He has trucks all the time. The only girl toy is Kenya. So I just thought it was a cheap shot at ushering that piece. And it wasn't necessary. It wasn't, I don't know where they're going to go with that, but I wasn't happy with that. But who am I? James Colwell, that's it. So, yeah, I kind of didn't like that. You guys tell me what y'all thought about that. That was just, I have no problem with, having the talk, but I just didn't want it with that character, because that's not the character. That wasn't the character that you all built for us. I didn't see a little gay boy. I don't even see any insinuation of a little gay boy or any chance of there even have being a little gay boy. That is just a little boy. He plays in the dirt. He plays with worms. He likes to farm. Everything he does is a little boy, a straight up little boy except for Kenya. I don't know. That's just me. You guys tell me what you think down in the comments, and I will talk to you next week. Later.